Salut à tous, on se retrouve sur Triangle Stratégie pour la suite du let's play. Alors au dernier épisode on avait réussi à rattraper le bateau de Avlora qui s'enfuyait avec la reine Cordelia. Le combat était tendu, la mécanique, le gameplay était assez original. Il fallait aborder le navire. On avait réussi, cependant Cordelia s'est jetée littéralement sous l'arme de Roland pour protéger Avlora. Et du coup, je ne sais pas, elle est peut-être morte. Du coup, potentiellement, il a tué sa sœur. Voilà, c'est gay. Et Avlora, blessée, s'est jetée à l'eau pour pas finir prisonnière ou morte. Ouais, plutôt morte, je pense. Voilà, c'était un petit peu dans cette ambiance qu'on s'était laissé. Alors, comme la dernière fois, je tiens à préciser, j'ai des travaux dans mon immeuble, du coup, il risque d'y avoir un petit peu de bruit. Si jamais le volume devient un petit peu trop important, je ferai une coupure dans l'enregistrement. Voilà, pour vous épargner un petit peu ça. Allez, on attaque, charger la partie. Voilà. Hop là. Oui. Je pense que on va du coup faire un petit combat d'entraînement. Cette fois-ci. Alors je le garantis pas au début de chaque épisode, mais là j'en ai encore quelques-uns que je n'ai pas fait. Donc je pense qu'on va aller entraîner l'équipe et récupérer des ressources. Ouais, là j'en ai encore deux qu'on n'a pas fait. Voilà. Alors, seul et isolé, Serenor est encerclé et séparé des autres. Éliminer le chef des ennemis avant que Serenor ne tombe au combat. Ok. Bon allez, on va tenter ce scénario. Je les aime bien, comment dire, les combats sont un peu variés. Même si le principe reste le même, évidemment. Mais les scénarios sont variés, donc c'est cool. Et alors, éliminer le commandant et Serenor ne doit pas mourir. Ok, placement des unités. 12 unités déployées. Qu'est-ce qu'on a? Alors, attends. Oui. Non, ça va, j'ai pas de boulet déployé? Non, bon. Bah ça va, écoute. Ok, 12 sur 12, ouais. Bon bah tant mieux. Il est où Serena? Il est où? Alors là c'est toutes mes unités. Enfin toutes. Presque toutes. Ah oui d'accord. Donc là, c'est qui lui? Assassin. Donc lui c'est le méchant? Ok. Ah mais non mais pourquoi j'ai Julio? Je veux pas Julio moi. Attends. C'est quoi cette douille? Déjà modifier le déplacement. Je veux... Hop là. Voilà. Je veux aussi... Erador, qui est le tank. Oh, quoique non, Bénédicte... c'est pas mal, il peut buffer... Ouais, il peut buffer... Ouais, je vais tenter comme ça. Par contre, choisir les unités... Comment j'ai toujours des boulets qui se... Ah oui, voilà. J'ai toujours des boulets qui viennent se glisser dans le truc. Vas-y, je préfère encore mettre Archibald. Archibald de l'archer. Ok, vas-y, on va partir comme ça. Voilà, on est pas mal. De toute façon, j'ai que ça. Ouais, je pense que comme ça, il a un heal. Et puis, il y a Bénédicte qui pourra lui mettre des buffs. Je pense qu'on n'est pas si mal. Et lui, c'est le chef des ennemis, en gros. Bon, bah, ok. Ok. Bon, allez, on va commencer. J'espère qu'on va pas se taper un game over. Ah, je me méfie quand c'est... En plus, j'ai tendance à un petit peu trop... seul et isolé, ok. J'ai tendance toujours à un petit peu trop avancer mes personnages. Honnêtement, voilà, je la joue pas trop stratégique, je la joue souvent pour un... Alors attends, tu vas faire... un petit rhinocéros. Ok. Ok. Voilà. Ensuite, toi, à couvert. Et tu avances. Ah, je peux faire une dague. Non. Je vais rester là pour l'instant. Ok. Alors toi par contre. Attends, il est là. Qu'est-ce qui fait le plus de dégâts? Là on a 135. Ah, les dégâts ils ont bien augmenté. C'est bien. Ok, bien joué. Bien joué, bien raté plutôt. Allez, dépêchez-vous à jouer là. Alors je peux taper lui, mais je préfère... Ah, je peux pas le finir. Si, je suis sûr que je peux le finir. Avec entrave de l'ombre. Plus de dégâts. Quoi? Quoi? Pourquoi je peux pas voir? Non, mais je suis sûr que ça fait plus... Ah, mais j'ai pas la portée. Bah, tu vas venir là, voilà. Voilà. Comme ça, lui, il est mort. Parfait. Jambe lourde. Ok. Je suis sûr que c'est un piège et que genre l'assassin il tape tellement fort. Je sais pas. Oh, quoique. Ouais, on va bien voir. Botte du faucon. Qu'est-ce que je tente? C'est quoi ça? C'est un bandit majeur? Ouais. Ah, je sais pas trop. Non mais ouais, parce qu'en vrai, en vrai sinon il va me saouler. Je préfère faire ça. Sort de flamme. Ouais, on devrait survivre. Oui, toi tu vas venir ramasser ça. Attaque de glace. Éclair. Très bien. Alors. Ouais, c'est ça qui fait le plus de dégâts. Bon, vas-y. Parfait. Je l'aime bien le petit. J'aime bien le vieil archer. Yes. Non, attends. Est-ce que tu peux faire... Alors attends, excuse-moi. Ouais, si. Tu vas faire juste un soin simple. Voilà. Ouais. Ah, il radore. Alors attends. Soigneur. Ah oui, vas-y, va taper le soigneur. Toi. Très bien. Oh, l'herbe elle a pris feu. C'est relou. C'est relou, mais... Du coup... C'est une bonne chose pour moi. Alors attends, si je peux venir là... C'est en feu ici? Non, c'est inflammable. Si on va venir là... Attaque de glace... Je tue. Voilà, ici. Très bien. Et oui, toi. Danse de la pluie, danse des tempêtes. Bah, ça m'intéresse pas trop en fait, je vais pas te mentir. Est-ce que tu peux venir foutre le feu avec une pierre de feu? Faut que je rachète. Non, tu peux pas. Ah, ça m'arrange pas. Ça m'arrange pas. Ah mince. Bon bah écoute, pour l'instant tu vas venir ici, chill, puis c'est tout. Tant pis. Oh, bien joué. Belle esquive. Le problème c'est que, bon, ils ont des archers, mais moi j'en ai aussi, donc... C'est fini. Vas-y, tu restes là. Attends, jet de poison. J'ai 2 cases. Ouais, de toute façon, je peux pas trop faire de folie. Ouais, je peux pas trop faire de folie. Attends, si je fais un jet de poison, je le finis, je crois. Ouais, je le finis. Ok. Est-ce que je peux balancer... Oui, je peux balancer un truc. Là, faut vraiment que je rachète des pierres. Tu tapes du combien? Ok, bon. Aïe, je peux plus soigner en zone. Si, je pourrais parce que je vais gagner un PT lors de mon tour. Oh oh. Oh oh. C'est embêtant. Et viens par ici. Aïe. Tu vas sortir de l'essence, toi. Et tu vas faire ça. C'est chaud. C'est chaud, c'est chaud. Ok. Zone curative, s'il te plaît. Ok, merci. Ah, on vous remercie. Parfait. Ah, il est pas mort. Ah, je suis deg. Bon, ça va, il a rien fait. Ah, ça m'arrange vraiment pas. Elle peut vraiment rien faire, elle. Attends, je vais utiliser un atout de téléportation. Ah, mais non, mais... Si. Oh, je sais pas. Bah, vas-y, téléporte-toi ici. Je peux pas? Je peux là? Pourquoi je peux pas? Je crois que j'ai vraiment pas compris comment l'utiliser. Bah... Je peux pas? Il faut que je fasse quoi? Sélectionner une cible. Ah, mais faut... Je sélectionne quelqu'un? Ah non, d'accord, une cible à téléporter. Ok, pardon, j'avais pas la ref. Je peux venir là? Je sais pas, allez go. Est-ce que j'aurais pu faire ça sur Sereneur? Oh oui, ça aurait été moins drôle. Très bien. Oui. Très bien.
Close, but not quite.
Let me show you what I've learned.
Moi, je peux rien faire. Et je peux rien faire.
Time for some research.
Oh, la belle vue dégagée. Ça va, en vrai, je tank bien. Ah, je peux péter les barricades. C'est rigolo, ça. Ok. C'est pas trop... ouais... Bof, quoi. Tu vas venir ici. Et ça me fait rire parce que du coup il focus pas du tout Sereneur. Tant mieux. Hein. Ouais. Ouais. Allez,
I won't lose.
on ramasse le loot.
Defeat is not an option. Ah!
Très bien. Ouais, bon, j'avoue, il a pris un peu cher, lui.
This isn't good.
Let me heal your wounds.
Magie curative.
Your wounds are
I will remember this.
Pour
Let
l'instant,
me
tout se
show
passe
you what
bien.
I've learned.
Allez. Avec le feu.
We will make our ideals reality. I'll show you what I can do.
Ok.
My time is now.
Ouais, bah ça va, toi, t'es... Attends, comment... Je peux monter par là? Oui, je peux monter par là. Ok, danse de la foule. T'as la portée jusqu'où? Non, t'as pas de portée. Bon, bah, vas-y.
Stay down.
Parfait.
I'll be fine.
Allez.
You won't beat me.
Ok.
Push on through. Now then.
Allez, on tape. Bref, on va taper qui? Bandit, machin. Ah bon, on peut taper le chef. Ah si, je sais. Voilà,
I'm afraid this may hurt.
ça me fait rire. Par contre, j'ai présenté mon dos. C'est embêtant.
Ah, my lord.
Come get me.
Ok.
Charge.
Dépêchez-vous. Tac. C'est fini du coup? Non? Mais c'est fini, ok. Bon bah ça va, ça s'est bien passé, on a gagné un petit peu d'XP, c'était pas si dur. Hein. Ouais, voilà, bon, 2005. On a connu mieux, mais ça va. Petit entraînement, petite mise en jambe. Ok, repassez quand vous voulez, parfait. Juste regarder si ça m'a pas débloqué des améliorations sur les personnages. Si, mais eux, ils sont nuls. Là, il n'y a rien. Bénédicte, il peut gagner 1 de vigueur. Et elle peut gagner PV. Ah ouais, d'accord, il faut masse, caillou. Ça fait quoi? Augmente l'esquive. Bon, allez, vas-y. Gagner ça. Ok. Et voilà. C'est à peu près tout. C'est à peu près tout. C'est à peu près tout. Bois, fibre, machin. Ouais. Allez hop. On va rester là-dessus. Bon bah voilà. Petit entraînement terminé. On reprend l'histoire. Alors, le château de l'île Blanche a été récupéré, mais on ignore ce qu'il est advenu d'Avlora qui a tenté de protéger Cordelia. La musique qui s'emballe.
It looks like she's overcome the worst of it. Once she wakes up, she should be fine.
Elle est pas morte. Elle est pas morte, yes. Non, c'était terrible quand
Thank
même.
you, Minister Lila. She would not have made it without you.
Ah, parce que... Enfin, genre, il aurait tué sa sœur, quoi. C'est
Glenbrook
terrible.
was our ally during the fight against Esfrost. You need not thank me, Prince. My apologies. I suppose I should call you King Roland now.
No. My enthronement has yet to be announced.
I see. I shall take my leave.
Bon, c'est bien en tout cas. Glenbrook reprend des forces.
Thank goodness. But why, Cordelia? Why did you shield our enemy?
Je te donnerai mon cœur. Fin. Bon, c'est génial, on commence par la fin du chapitre précédent. Et oui, vas-y, petite sauvegarde. Très bien. Bon, bah maintenant, va falloir éradiquer Aifrost. Ah, un peu plus de vert sur cette carte.
Overwhelmed by the forces of House Wolford, Frost's troops are scattered and driven from the Crown City. Glenbrook, at last, is free. Several days after this fateful battle, Queen Cordelia announces her intent to abdicate the throne and make way for another. Roland Glenbrook, his face no longer hidden from the world, will take his rightful place at the seat of power. With the prince's friends having only just finished grieving his death, and his enemies having only just finished toasting to it, this news shocks the foundations not only of Glenbrook, but of Nozelia itself. By routing Frost's forces and leaving the city unscathed, House Wolford displays their martial prowess and their loyalty to their liege. The prince becomes king and condemns the schemes of Gustadolf, making known Frost's plot to usurp the throne. However, the people's reaction to this news is not quite a chorus of approval.
Ouais, ça, forcément.
It is plain that the ravages of war and the shame of subjugation have left an indelible mark on the once prosperous nation. Although the battle for Glenbrook is behind them, Serenoa and the rest of the city's liberators must make ready for a struggle of an entirely different sort.
Va là où la gloire t'attend. Chapitre 14, hein, quand même.
Congratulations on returning to your rightful throne, King Roland.
Ah, you returned. My friend, a word.
Yes,
I am honored to have had you by my side on this journey.
as am I, Roland.
Oh, en vrai, un petit peu quand même. Hein. Je veux dire, il te doit la vie et tout. T'es le seul qui l'a pas lâché quand sa famille a été tuée. Enfin bref.
Your Majesty, representatives from Hyzant have arrived.
We shan't make undue demands of your time, King Roland. We've simply come to say farewell.
Without your aid, my people would still be under Frost's iron rule.
Ouais, c'est clair,
Glenbrook
c'est clair.
owes you a debt of gratitude.
Ils nous ont bien aidés. Par contre, j'aimerais qu'ils arrêtent de maltraiter le peuple rosélien.
Consider the debt paid. The knowledge we gleaned of Elfric's capabilities was more than worth our troubles.
Indeed, it surpassed my every expectation. The Holy One is sure to be pleased with the results.
C'était une sacrée explosion.
Your Majesty, can we trust you to lift the embargo and keep Frost subdued?
Of course. Lord Wolford has promised his full cooperation in that regard.
Your Majesty, lest you misunderstand your friend's position, Allow me to make one matter abundantly clear. Minister Serenoa is of the Saintly Seven. He is not to serve at your whims, but by the grace of the Hierophant.
I understand, but he is also a Lord of Glenbrook. More importantly, he is my friend. As such, I would ask for his assistance in the days ahead, as I have in days past.
Your Majesty, it is plain that the friendship between you two runs deep. However, the rules of politics are old and immutable.
And what does the Lord himself think of his new position?
Of course, I am grateful for the honor Hyzant has bestowed upon me. I will do all in my power to serve both the Hierophant and King Roland with all faithfulness.
In other words, the Hierophant does not have your full loyalty.
Well,
Glenbrook and Hyzant are to be two nations united in purpose. Surely it is reasonable that Lord Serenoa acts in service to both? Perhaps King Roland and the Hierophant should discuss my lord's role together.
Ouais, c'est vrai, il a raison, Bénédicte. Ça regarde pas.
You are right, of course. It is not our place to assume the goddess's intent.
Very well. I hope to meet with the Holy One as soon as my duties allow. I expect busy days ahead for you, Serenoa. Be prepared.
Certainly, Your Majesty.
Milo shall stay in Glenbrook for the time being. If there is aught she can assist you with, consider her at your complete disposal. Remember, Milo, that you are the symbol of friendship between our two nations.
Elle se débarrasse d'elle.
But of course, I live to serve, Minister.
Vu que c'est une espionne, c'est bien pratique.
And with that, we shall take our leave.
May we meet again soon.
They leave us with a spy. It seems we still haven't won their trust entirely.
Ouais, c'est ça. C'est exactement ça.
Whatever secrets they uncover will only attest to our commitment to the friendship between us.
C'est vrai.
Still, their actions speak volumes. Their aid has not come without expectation of just recompense. Already, they seek to make Lord Serenoa their puppet.
But we need Hyzant's aid to crush Esfrost.
By the same token, we cannot resist Hyzant without Esfrost's might. And once Esfrost is laid low, Glenbrook will have served its purpose. What then would stop Hyzant from tightening their grip?
Ouais, c'est sûr que c'est toujours délicat l'équilibre. Ouais.
Just as they did with the Rosal. The injustice I saw at the source is not something I'll soon forget. If you require proof of Hyzant's true nature, you need a...
I know. This country is my home. Built by my father and the kings before him. Safeguarded by my sister and generations of my forebears. I will rebuild it. Restore its glory and its pride. We will not be treated as dogs at the end of a leash.
For now, we must look within. Only after that work is done should we look without.
Ouais. Taylor, il est mort ou pas? Je me souviens même plus. Je crois. Ouais, parce que du coup, là, on a Falkes, Taylor qui sont plus là. Enfin, il y a... Ouais, c'est un peu le bordel au niveau politique. Les seigneurs enfin, les seigneurs de Glenbrook n'existent plus, donc...
So, the Crown City has fallen. I see. And what of General Avlora?
She fell into the Norzelia River and has not been seen since.
And my siblings, Thalos and Erica?
They died, fighting bravely in battle. My condolences, Your Grace.
Tu parles, il s'en fout.
I understand. I have fewer pieces on the board than ever now.
Voilà, qu'est-ce que je disais? Bien sûr qu'il s'en fout.
Pieces. Really is true what they say about him.
It seems I was wrong to think that Hysant would remain idle. Or was my more grievous error to be taken in by the prince's false death? Regardless, I was a fool to show House Wolford any mercy.
Your Grace, reports from the battlefield tell of an unknown weapon being brought to bear against our forces.
Oh? Continue.
A purple explosion was seen when the bridge to Castle Whiteholm collapsed.
That bridge has weathered the elements for untold generations. We mustn't allow Hysant to think they've won the upper hand.
Eux aussi veulent la même arme.
I intend to answer their weapon with one of my own.
Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'ils ont le glas du jugement. On dirait, je crois que c'est un canon, non? Je crois ils en parlaient, j'ai cru comprendre que c'était un canon. Va là où la gloire t'attend. Enfin. Bon, et les chapitres, ils sont petits aussi. Mais ouais, vas-y, on sauvegarde. Ah, je crois qu'il parlait d'un canon.
After retaking Whiteholm Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of the line of Glenbrook sweeps the kingdom. Yet not everyone is quick to welcome Roland back with open arms. Life under Frosty rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime.
C'est chaud quand même.
Roland's absence, it seems, made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
Les bannières du roi s'avancent. C'est chaud quand même. Genre le peuple qui préfère l'occupant.
There you are, Your Majesty.
Ah, Huette.
Pray, do not sound so dismal. Now that we have retaken Whiteholm Castle, you are Glenbrook's rightful king. We've an entire kingdom to rebuild out of the ruins of war. Patriot and the others have been demanding utmost haste.
I understand that, I do. But... oh, Cordelia. If I should lose you too,
Ouais, bah t'aurais tué ta sœur si jamais elle mourait.
I know you have suffered many hardships, but pray, do not let yourself succumb to despair. Me, our comrades, your people, all of us are eagerly awaiting the era of peace our new king will bring.
King, eh? My father never once let his emotions overcome him. Not even the day my mother died. I had every intention of following his stoic example, but...
Majesty, I bring word from the infirmary.
Is it Cordelia? Pray tell me.
She is indeed recovering apace, Your Majesty.
Ouais, bah voilà.
Oh, thank the stars.
It seems she has something to discuss with you all, if you will hear her out.
Of course. Tell her we'll speak in the garden, but only if it will not tax her overmuch.
Yes, sire.
Bon, et ben voilà.
Huette, fetch Serenoa and the rest. Tell them to come to the garden as soon as they are able.
'Twould be my pleasure.
Bonne nouvelle.
What is it? You're smiling.
It's only... I thought it would be some time yet before I saw you look so at ease. I'll return shortly with the others.
Ah, ça va. C'est cool.
Cordelia, you've returned to me after so long. But slow and steady is the path to recovery. Yes, there is no rush.
Bon bah tant mieux. Ouais, parce que ça aurait été vachement sombre quand même. S'il avait tué sa sœur...
So that is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriot and his royalists cozied up to Esfros in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriot much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly, without interrupting the people's lives.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
Ouais, ça on peut pas lui enlever, ouais.
But all the while, he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait, does he intend to march on Hyzant next?
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific. But the goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Esfrost. Not anymore. He said it will all be over once the death knell is ready.
What is this death knell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles.
Oui, sphère explosive. Et du coup, moi, ça m'a fait penser, bah, je sais pas, des boulets de canon, quoi.
Thalus claimed it is powerful enough to break through the goddess's shield.
Ou alors, il a clairement dit que c'était un canon, je sais pas. Mais dans ma tête, c'était un canon.
To think Esfrost is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
So much for their reign of peace. Taking over Glenbrook was only the first move in a bigger gambit to seize the source.
I am disturbed to learn of Gustadolf's plan. But rebuilding our capital must take priority.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and discuss how best to proceed from there. House Wolfort will lend whatever aid you need.
Thank you, Serenoa. But since you are one of their saintly 7 now, I'd ask you to keep an eye on Hyzant as well.
Ouais, c'est vrai. J'aime bien le... Tu fais partie des 7 saints, du coup, tu vas espionner les autres maintenant.
Cordelia? Apologies. A brief spell of dizziness.
I have been looking everywhere for you, Your Highness.
Oh, lui, je t'aime.
Patriot.
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries are still healing. Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia. Rest now. Leave everything.
All right.
Et genre, lui, il l'a trahi, mais on dit c'est pas grave. Bon, bah, ok. Ok, c'est pas grave. Hein.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzant and see what aid they can give us. Was there anything of note besides damage?
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but Not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's return.
Ah, c'est chaud. C'est chaud.
Frost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability instead of their birthright.
C'est pas mal.
Just as in Frost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Ah, c'est chaud.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriot, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke.
Bah oui, voilà, c'est ça. C'est ça. J'ai carrément pas confiance en lui.
I do not believe we can trust him.
Voilà, on est d'accord. Ah bah il est là.
Distinguished members of House Wolfford, how hard you are all working to rebuild our capital. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great honor visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks, myself included, of course. We are so grateful for House Wolfford's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem.
Non, qu'est-ce que tu racontes?
His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Frost. But the people have had their fill of war. And I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with disfavor. I only beg you take every care going forward.
Ouais, je crois qu'il a raison, malheureusement. Ouais.
A warning.
Bah oui, mais en même temps... ouais.
Even so, there is naught we can do but focus on rebuilding.
Indeed. Let us return to the king and apprise him of our progress.
Ouais.
I would walk the city with Sheila a bit longer and speak with the people.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
Oh, il a dit be careful, my love. Je crois qu'il a dit ça, hein. Ok, intrigue de personnage 9. Oh mon dieu. J'étais pas prêt. 9 intrigues de personnages. Faut voir. Alors attends. Bénédicte et Rador, Sérénor. Frédérica décide de cuisiner elle-même pour Sérénor. Anna part à la recherche d'indices sur l'identité de ses parents. Erador sait qu'il y a une histoire particulière derrière la fleur que Bénédicte cherche. Huguette, pendant son entraînement, se souvient de la promesse qu'elle a faite à Roland avant le début de la guerre. Que pense Gila de l'évolution et des progrès de Frédérica? Corentin, non mais il y en a trop, c'est pas possible, je veux pas. Corentin s'est avéré avoir l'alcool mauvais. Oh là là. Semble avoir fait de gros progrès sur ses recherches. Narve a pu soigner les blessures d'un enfant grâce aux enseignements de Grandante. Ok. Non mais là c'est... là, je suis désolé, 9 intrigues. Voilà quoi. Voilà. Alors, tac, Frédérica écoute la voix de son peuple. Roland veut débuter la reconstruction de la capitale royale, mais Patriote et les autres royalistes ne l'entendent pas de cette oreille. Alors, on va commencer par les faubourgs. Allez. Ouais, non, surtout que c'est ça. Enfin, pour là, tout de suite, ça casserait un petit peu le rythme, je trouve, de faire les intrigues. 9. Oh mon dieu.
There are more who accepted Esfrost's rule than I imagined.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change.
Ah, c'est une monarchie bien ancrée.
Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful. For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
Perhaps, but his freedom was not but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolffort messenger. Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolffort, bearing tidings of Lord Simon.
Ah ouais, Simon? Qu'est-ce qu'il devient, lui?
Has he awakened?
Ouais, voilà, il a repris conscience.
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well.
Ah, c'est cool, ça.
And he is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolffort so he can honor you himself.
Okay.
Oh, I must bring these glad tidings to Serenoa at once. How long?
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady.
Ah.
But it is not so happy.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolffort domain?
Bandits are laying waste to the Rosellan village.
Uh-oh.
To our shame, Castle Wolffort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenoa's wisdom in this matter.
Okay.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rosellan village defenseless.
Ouais.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
Allez. Chaud. Tissu à faire.
Well, well. Things are about to get interesting.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle veut? Ok. Bon bah on va les prévenir.
The coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on right now.
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith, besides which it is the royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be, and right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Ouais, c'est pas tort.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now, I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolffort will see your subjects shan't go hungry. But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory so much as announcing the return of Ray's rightful heir. To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol.
Moi, je trouve qu'il a pas tort.
You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. We will assume that burden. After all, you have only just been crowned.
Je l'aime pas.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriot. That.
As you wish, King Roland.
How fare things, Suette? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzant. but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
Ah ouais, elles vont à qui?
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriat and the
Ouais, voilà.
Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
Ouais, j'en étais sûr. Et j'aime pas ce mec.
Damn those Royalists. They cannot be left to their own devices.
Ouais. Je l'aime pas ce mec. Ok, donc là il y a un vote. Oh mon dieu, le groupe s'est séparé en 3 factions avec différentes destinations. Quelle voie prendra Serenor? Ah ouais, non, mais je suis obligé là d'aller... Obligé d'aller aider le village, qui est là, ici, d'ailleurs. Ouais. Alors attends. Le royaume de Glenbrook fait peau neuve, tandis qu'Aefrost tente de panser ses plaies pendant ce temps à Aisante. On va aller voir ça.
House Wolfort and Minister Exham's forces have reclaimed the Crown City. And not only that, they have dealt a heavy blow to the Esfrosti forces in killing Thalys and other commanding officers.
We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
Oui, c'est sûr qu'ils ont gagné sur toute la ligne.
Oh, to see Gustadolf's face when he hears the news. Now he'll have no choice but to come crawling to us on hands and knees, begging for salt. Though, this could be our chance to crush the duchy once and for all.
Just because they're licking their wounds does not make them easy prey. They still have their iron after all.
Est-ce qu'ils ont des mechas?
Iron. We can get iron. All we need do is make Glenbrook hand over the Grand Norzelian mines to us. A paltry price to pay for our bountiful aid in their restoration of the Crown City.
The Grand Norzelian mines. The spark that lit the flame of Esfrost's aggression. But why go through the trouble to seize an iron source when they have all the iron they could ever need?
Ouais.
I should have
Minister Idor?
Ouais, en effet.
Well, regardless, we control the salt. I say we bide our time until Esfrost admits they are defeated. Besides, Glenbrook seeks our aid in their reconstruction efforts, do they not?
Yes. King Roland and Minister Serenoa have both asked for help, and sent reports detailing the extent of the damage to the Crown City.
Send forth a veritable bounty. To Minister Serenoa of the Saintly Seven, that is.
Ah, yes. A show of the goddess's grace to the people, and as a wedge to drive between him and the king.
Esfrost, Glenbrook, they will both be ours before long.
Ah, salaud. Ah, ils sont sympas ces gars-là. Ok. Donc là, je vois qu'il y a un gros vote à venir. Bon. On est déjà à plus de 50 minutes de vidéo, presque 55. Donc on va pas se lancer sur le vote parce que du coup ça va être un petit peu long. On va checker un petit peu les intrigues de personnages en attendant, je pense. Alors on a quoi? Le groupe s'est séparé en 3 factions. Ok. Bon. Alors, Bénédicte et Rador ont un secret depuis 30 ans. On va voir ça.
All right, lads and lasses, lay down your arms. Let your bruises remind you of the lessons learned today.
Ah, what fortuitous timing. I still owe you for the drinks from the other evening. I wondered if I might treat you tonight.
Apologies, lass, but I've got places to be. Perhaps another time.
Vas-y, Rador, fais pas ton relou.
He seemed troubled by something. Perhaps I'm overthinking it.
Let us end our day's work here.
It is early, is it not? Is something amiss?
No, nothing at all. Just my attention is required elsewhere for a time.
Ils ont un rendez-vous secret.
Elsewhere? Curious.
How many have you had?
Not enough. Just one for you, I take it.
Yes.
Went by in a flash. Can you believe it's been 30 years?
The time has escaped us. The memory of that day, however, I doubt ever will.
Il y a 30 ans, pendant la Grande Guerre.
Thrice damned, can't move. Always thought I'd meet my end with a beautiful lass by my side.
You have many days ahead of you yet, Eridor. We will see you returned home.
Don't try to run, you curs!
Leave me be. I'll just slow you down. It was my cursed pride that got us into this. Only I should suffer for it. We don't all need to die today. Run!
Even in the face of death, you refuse to set aside your foolish pride. I followed you into this hell of my own will, and I will see you delivered from it.
You fool!
Charge! Come and die.
Je vous prends tous. Et c'est vrai, il les a tous pris.
That would have been it for us, had Lord Simon not met their charge in time.
Okay.
Aye, and the only punishment for my pride were these aches that keep me awake at night.
We hungered for glory all those years ago, without a care for how it would serve us later on.
A couple of would-be heroes who couldn't be convinced they weren't invincible.
Yet here we are, drinking, to celebrate the end of that war. I do not wish to reminisce upon the past. A toast that I may never again repeat the mistakes of my youth. But before that...
Yeah?
Allez, santé les gars.
You have served House Wolford well, Eridor. That said, I've a feeling we'll need your sturdy shield even more going forward.
You need me to lead a charge? I'm your man. I'll leave anything fancier than that to you. For House Wolford!
For House Wolford.
Oh, j'avoue, les petites intrigues comme ça, elles sont sympas, quand même. J'avoue. Ok, je vais en faire une. J'ai envie de faire celle de Narve. Narve a pu soigner les blessures d'un enfant grâce aux enseignements de Grandante. Allez. Je sais pas pourquoi je trouve que Grandante ça sonne bien. Oh la classe.
Damn it all. At this rate, I'll never come close to carrying on Grandfather's legacy. Maybe I was never destined to be a great mage after all.
Ow! It hurts!
Oh no, the poor child's fallen.
Hey there, are you hurt?
Ow! It hurts so bad I can't even stand!
Not to worry. I'll fix you right up, so dry those tears.
Really?
Yup. The pain will disappear like magic. You'll see.
Wow! It doesn't hurt anymore. Thank you, sir. Grandma, look! My leg's all better now!
Well, I'll be. Thank you so much for healing my grandson.
You don't need to thank me. This is nothing.
Those robes.
Oh, elle le connaît.
You happen to be a student of the Archmage Grandante, would you?
Ah, mais elle le dit,
You know my
Grandante.
grandfather?
Oh, of course I do. What a great man he was, always using his magic to help those in need, much like you. I was just one of many whose lives he saved. Why, that was over 30 years ago. I lost my house to the fires of war and nearly my life along with it. But he quenched the flames with his spellcraft and healed my burns.
Oh, la classe.
Had it not been for the Archmage Grandante, I would not be here today. I am forever in his debt.
Even though Grandfather's name was erased from Hyzant's records, his memory lives on in the people he helped.
C'est vrai, c'est vrai.
It sounds like he was a truly amazing man indeed. And I know he would be proud of you for following in his footsteps.
Do you really think so?
I do. And I have no doubt that one day you will restore the glory to your grandfather's name. No matter what the Ministry does to erase his existence, his spirit lives on through you.
Right. But I must keep practicing, that I might help even more people with my spells. Just watch me, Grandfather. I'll restore the honor of your name if it's the last thing I do.
C'est cool, ça fait plaisir, c'est bien. Ah oui, et du coup ils disent bien Grandante, hein, donc c'est bon, c'est pas moi qui l'ai inventé. Bon, ils disent aussi East Frost, mais voilà, désolé. Bon, et ben ma foi, c'est cool. Oh quoi, 7? Ah non, si, c'est bon. J'ai eu peur, non, j'en avais 9, j'en ai fait 2, il en reste 7. J'ai cru qu'il y en avait qui s'étaient rajoutés. Bon, c'est ce qui risque d'arriver quand même, on va pas se mentir. Hein. Mais est-ce qu'on en refait une ou pas? Allez. C'est quoi? Frédérica a décidé de cuisiner. Allez, vas-y. Allez. Une petite dernière. Petite dernière pour le lore. Développement des personnages.
Do you have a moment, Sheila?
Oh, Frederica, is something the matter?
Well, I invited Serenoa to have dinner with me tonight.
That's wonderful. Are you cooking for him?
I am. I've been practicing with the book you gave me. I was hoping to finally show him what I've learned.
Then allow me to help. What are you making?
A warm soup full of meatballs. A hearty, meaty, savory stew to tickle the tongue and sate the stomach. Or so the book describes it.
That sounds like quite a mouthful, in more ways than one.
Ouais, j'avoue.
The author is rather verbose, yes.
On dirait un dîner presque parfait.
Anyhow, I also want to make an appetizer. Might you be able to lend a hand?
Cooking is hardly my specialty, but say no more. I'd love to.
Est-ce qu'on a le résultat ou pas?
Oh dear. sire.
This is disappointing, to say the least.
And we're almost out of time. Serenoa will be back any minute now.
Excuse me, Lady Frederica.
Serenoa
Lord
dû partir.
Serenoa has just sent word that he has been held up at a meeting.
Ça va.
He says there is a chance he may not even return tonight.
I see. Thank you for letting me know.
Tant mieux pour lui.
It sounds like your dinner may get postponed.
A blessing in disguise. It gives us time to cook this again and do it right this time.
Lord Serenoa may not even return tonight.
But there is a chance he might. And I refuse to disappoint him. Would you help me, Gila?
Of course, Frederica. I shall do my very best to see this through with you.
I cannot thank you enough.
Eh bien, je t'aiderai jusqu'au bout. C'est une question de vie ou de mort. Et voilà, et au final, elle aura réussi.
The vegetables are done, though they are a far cry from perfect.
The meatballs are ready too. Now all we have to do is stew them.
Frederica, I'm back.
Parfait.
Oh, welcome back.
It appears we've run out of time.
I was on my way here when something urgent came to my attention. I apologize for returning so late. I know we were supposed to have dinner tonight.
I am just happy you're here. Besides, I am the one who should apologize. I wanted to cook you a meal, but failed terribly on my first attempt.
Ça
so
va.
it isn't yet ready. I'm sorry, Serenoa.
Don't look so down, Frederica. I was delighted when you asked me to share a meal. Now that I'm back, why don't I help you with the food?
Eh oui, voilà.
Serenoa.
Exactement.
Thank you again for inviting me. I'm overjoyed we could spend this time together.
As am I. I enjoyed cooking with you as well.
Et voilà.
The time we spend together is very precious to me. I regret that my duties have been keeping us apart lately. But when I noticed the sky was even more beautiful than ever this night.
Ils ont toujours pas pu se marier en plus. On va voir le ciel étoilé? Non? Si. Oh.
I hurried home, hoping we could gaze upon its beauty together.
It's strange. When I was in Esfrost, I would look up at the same sky. But it felt so much colder there. The stars seemed as if frozen. They did not twinkle the way they do now that I am with you, Serenoa.
Frederica, promise me that you will always stay by my side. I need you. Now more than ever.
Of course, Serenoa. I wish to gaze up at the same sky, sit beneath the same moon, and walk the same path you do. Together. Forever and always.
Et la console qui se met en veille en plus. Ils sont romantiques. C'est bien, au moins ça fait, comment dire, ça développe un petit peu leur couple, ces intrigues de personnages. Bon, et ben voilà, c'est pas mal, là on va être 1h10, bon, c'est cool, c'est cool, voilà. Et la petite sauvegarde, très bien. Et puis au prochain épisode, on reprend l'histoire, on va décider de ce qu'on fait, parce qu'il y a 3 destinations à prendre. Moi perso, je veux secourir le village des Roséliens. Pour moi, ça me paraît être la priorité. Voilà. Bon, bref. Merci à tous d'avoir suivi cet épisode. On se dit à très très vite pour la suite. Et en attendant, prenez soin de vous. Salut!